Hey guys, Gote here. Before the video begins, I want to start off by letting each and every one of you know that if you have a horror story of your own, be sure to email it to me via my professional email, linked in the description below, and I will be sure to include it in one of my videos. Now, I'm starting off a new video series here that has to do with urban legends from around the world. And what's better than starting off with the nation most notorious for their creepy and disturbing urban legends, Japan. So, sit back, get comfortable, and without further ado, here are 7 Japanese urban legends. According to legend, Kuchisakeonna was a young woman with her mouth slit from ear to ear. One of the most popular versions says it was during a dental procedure when she was with her mouth open at the dentist. When she was with her mouth open at the dentist, one of the products that the doctor was using smelled so bad that she couldn't stay still, causing the dentist to accidentally slit both sides of her mouth. Another version of the story says that she was a wife or concubine of a samurai, and that when the samurai discovered that she was cheating on him, he sliced the corners of her mouth from ear to ear with his katana. Other versions of the tale include that her mouth was slit by a woman who was just jealous of her beauty, or that her mouth is filled with numerous sharp teeth, causing the mouth to be cut from the inside. In any case, she lived having her mouth slit open, and after her death, the woman returned as a vengeful spirit, or onryo in Japanese. She covers her mouth with a cloth mask, a surgical mask, or in some literations, a hand fan or handkerchief. She used the mask all of her life after the incident. She also carries a sharp instrument with her. Again, there are different versions such as a knife, a machete, a scythe, or a large pair of scissors, but the most common is a sickle. The legend says that children walking at night might meet a woman with her face covered by a mask, which is quite common in Japan, especially in winter, and especially now. Then she will stop the child and ask, "Watashi kiri?" which means, "Am I pretty?" If the child answers no, she will kill them with the sickle, but if the answer is yes, the woman pulls away the mask, revealing her slitted mouth, and again asks, "Koro demo?" which means, "Even like this?" If the child responds no, or even worse, if the child screams, she will kill them. However, if the answer is yes, she will slice the corners of the child's mouth from ear to ear, resembling her own disfigurement. So there is no correct answer, and you can't run away from her, because she is super fast, and she will chase down and kill you. Fortunately, there are 2 ways to survive your encounter with the Kuchisakeonna. One of the most popular versions of the legend says that if you reply to Kuchisakeonna's saying that her appearance is average, she will then become confused, and you will have enough time to run away. Another way is repeating her question back, "Watashi kiri?" And the version that she was disfigured because of not being able to stand the smell while she was at the dentist's. There is another way to avoid the death by saying the word pomade 3 times, since pomade was the product that the dentist was using. But one of my favorite versions is one that says that you can run away from her after throwing candies in her direction, specifically the candy known as Beko Emi. This is my favorite version because it reminds me of Halloween. At the end, even different cultures have similar stories. Akiko was a girl who was physically mistreated by her parents. The beatings were so bad that they caused physical deformations. Because of this, her classmates made fun of her. Her teachers did nothing to avoid the bullying and were very strict with her. From this point, there were 2 versions of the story. The short version says that Akiko committed suicide. On the other hand, the long version tells that one day, after leaving class, Akiko found a kitten and began to take care of it. She took care of the kitten every day by bringing him food and kept him safe in a little box. One day, seeing that lately she looked happy and lively, 3 of the bullies followed her to see what made her so happy. They hid and watched as she took care of the kitten. The next day, when she went to see the kitten as usual, the kitten was gone. Instead, she found a note from the bullies saying, "If you want to see the kitten alive, come to the teacher's parking." When she went to the parking lot, she found that the children had tied the kitten with a rope around its neck to the teacher's car. At the same time, the teacher was leaving the school building and getting into the car without noticing the kitten and started the car. Akiko launched herself to protect the kitten. She clung to the rope and protected the kitten with her body. The car drove several kilometers, with the girl clutched protecting the kitten before the teacher realized what was happening. When the teacher finally stopped the car, the kitten was alive because Akiko had protected him with her body. But sadly, Akiko was dead from being dragged several kilometers. In this version of the kitten, 2 days later, the 3 bullies were found dead. In either version, Akiko became a vindictive spirit that walks through Japanese schools, punishing or killing children who bully others. Sometimes she kills them just without any reason. For instance, some children who told the police they had seen Akiko were found dead the next day. Akiko was described as a girl dressed in white with long black hair. Surely this description sounds familiar to you, right? It is rumored that Akiko's name, when she was alive, was Sadoku, and in the movie The Ring, they were inspired by the legend of Akiko to make the film. Por no Hanoku-san, which literally means Hanoku of the toilet, is a spirit of a young girl who lives in school bathrooms. As in the previous legends, there are different versions. The most extended version is that it was a girl that committed suicide in a school bathroom, or was killed by her abusive parents, or a stranger in a school bathroom. Another version indicates that she was killed a long time ago, during World War II, in an air raid, while hiding in a school bathroom playing hide and seek. In any case, she died in the bathroom, and that's why she still remains there to this day. Hanoku's most common description is that of a girl with a bobbed haircut and wearing a red dress or skirt. This legend is quite popular in Japanese primary schools, maybe because she died while she was in primary school. The children challenge their classmates to summon Hanoku-san, telling them that she is in the 3rd bathroom stall, or in the 3rd floor bathroom. Because of this, many children are afraid to use that specific bathroom. To summon Hanoku-san, you must enter alone in the girls' bathroom, usually on the 3rd floor of the school. Knock 3 times on the 3rd stall door and ask if Hanoku-san is there. If she is not there, nothing happens, but if she's there, she will reply, "Yes, I am," or something similar. Then a bloody, ghostly hand will appear. In the worst case, Hanaku-san herself will appear and push you into the toilet and take you with her to hell. Some versions say that you can be eaten by a 3-headed lizard when you get to hell. Tikitiki is generally a woman, although in some versions it's a man, that doesn't have the lower part of the body. It is said that she fell onto the train tracks, whether by accident, was pushed, or attempted suicide. In either case, the train didn't end up killing her, but only ended up cutting her in half, separating her legs from the rest of her body. That's why now she crawls using her hands, and that produces a sound that the Japanese describe as teke teke. Some people say that she bled to death slowly. Others say that she tried to ask for help, but the train station staff, instead of helping her, suffocated her with a plastic bag. Her death was agonizing, and since then she became a vindictive spirit that roams around Japan. There are numerous stories about people who, after leaving work or school, have met this terrifying woman. Trying to run away is useless since, despite not having legs, it runs on its hands and reaches you in seconds. Some say that she is trying to get her own legs, but others believe that she is simply angry because the station staff didn't help her, or because, in some versions, she was raped and thrown and abandoned on the train railways. A variant of the legend says that the real name of the woman who died was Kashima Ryoko. Then, when she appears in front of someone, she asks, "Where are my legs?" If you answer correctly, your legs are on the Minshin Expressway. It will be okay. But if you don't give that answer, she will cut your legs using a sickle. She will also ask you what her name is. But if you answer Kashimi Ryoku, she will kill you. What you have to do is answer Kamen Shinin Ma, Mask, Death, Demon, which is what the kanji of her name means. Back in 1918, a 17-year-old boy in Hokkaido bought a doll at the market for his 2-year-old sister, Akiko. The doll looked similar to her, as they both had an akappa haircut, a bowl cut with straight hair down to the chin. She loved the doll so much that she took it everywhere with her, even asleep. When Akiko died months later, the family named the doll after her and prayed to it as their household shrine. It wasn't long after they noticed something strange happening. The doll's hair was gradually growing longer. Even after cutting it, the hair kept growing back. It was at that moment that the family knew they messed up. Akiko's father gave the doll to Manenji Temple in Iwamazama City, Hokkaido, where it can be visited to this day. No photos allowed. Scientists have analyzed the hair of the doll and concluded that it was real human hair from the child. Freaky. The remoteness of the temple makes it extremely hard to access without a car. Even then, it can be dangerous when there's heavy snowfall. Some ghost tours do take visitors there, but they are typically only in Japanese. In case you were thinking about trying to see the demonic doll for yourself. This modern scary story comes in the form of a computer pop-up and originated in the 1990s when personal computers were just starting to boom across Japan. The curse starts with a pop-up that appears on the victim's computer screen when they're alone in a room. It has a red background and black letters asking, "Do you like the red room?" It's impossible to close out of the pop-up. It's frozen on the screen. You won't be able to escape the room you're in when the pop-up appears, as the doors and windows will suddenly lock. Your body will be discovered days later, dead in your room, surrounded by walls painted red with blood. The Red Room curse became popular in the dark corners of the internet after a 12-year-old girl in Seisbo, Nagasaki was murdered by her classmate. The murderer, who has remained unnamed due to being 11 years old at the time, was found to have a link to a Red Room bookmarked on her computer. Caminos Hell is a cursed poem in Japanese folklore. It begins with, "Elder sister vomits blood, younger sister is breathing fire, while sweet little Tomino spits up the jewels." This gruesome poem, called Caminos Hell, will bring death to anyone who reads it out loud. Oh shit. Written by Seijo Yasu as part of a poetry collection in 1919. The poem is about a young boy named Tomino who descends into the 8th levels of hell. Some interpret the poem to be about Tomino losing his soul from having killed one of his parents, as there is a special place in Buddhist hell for people who commit this sin. Others see it as a metaphor for Tomino going to war and dying in agony, never to see his family again. In 1974, director Terama Suji released a movie based on Caminos Hell, Den en ni Shisu, or To Die in the Country. He died prematurely at 50 years old due to liver disease, which sparked already forming rumors that reading his poem out loud causes suffering and death. The Akamanto is based on a real murderer who kidnapped and killed 3 people while wearing a blue blanket in central Fukui Prefecture in 1906. Modern stories about Akamanto, which literally translates into red cape, have him wearing a long red cape and a white mask. He appears in bathrooms when victims are in the vulnerable spot on the toilet and asks, red cape or blue cape? Other versions of the story have him asking red paper or blue paper after victims realize there isn't any toilet paper to wipe their butts on. The horror! If you answer red, he will decapitate you, causing your blood to flow over you like a red cape. If you answer blue, he will strangle you to death, turning your body a putrid blue. Answer a third color, or decline to answer to foil his gruesome plans. It might just save your life. The legend appeared in the 2015 American TV series Scream Queens. Hey guys, it's Gote here. I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode. Even though I was a little bit uncomfortable saying that's second to last one, given that I don't do very well with urban legends telling me that if I repeat certain words that I might end up dead. So if I end up dying, you guys will know that the urban legend is true. But other from that, thank you so much for listening. And again, if you have any suggestions for future stories, or if you have any stories of your own, again, my email is linked in the description. Do send me them. I am more than grateful of having suggestions. But yeah, have a good quarantine day, and I will see you mates in the next episode.